Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to today's video. Firstly, I hope you've all been keeping well and staying safe during these turbulent times. Guys, we've got, yeah, so be sure to look after one another. Now, within today's video, I'm actually going to go through a concept still on business, still on entrepreneurship, but just how I feel people who play rugby league, or specifically any sport in general, how they've built some pretty cool foundations to help run business and actually have a successful business. So I'm going to dive into this. My experience, I was playing rugby league since I was the age of 8, I think, for a club called Beacon Hill Bears here on the Northern Beaches. Not that it really matters to the actual point I'm going to make, but fuck it, I just want to let you guys know who I played for. Anyway, growing up, I would do quite well. I would be in and around certain representative football sides, but unfortunately just wasn't necessarily good enough to make it to the top end. As well, I did have a few signs from the universe who said, mate, rugby league probably isn't for you. But during that time, which I think is around maybe 16 years of playing rugby league, on a consistent basis, these are the lessons that I've taken away from it. Hopefully you guys can look at it and go, well, I'm a past sports person, but really, actually, these are the points that I actually do still adhere to. These are the things, these are the habits that I've built. Maybe I can dive into business. So that's the intention of this video. Hope it does help. But without further ado, let's jump in. The first point I'd like to make here is just more the teamwork. Was that Teddy? Yeah. So the first point I wanted to make is, actually I'm not laughing purely because of what I'm about to say, but just more, my dog or puppy is making some noise. Oi! Good boy. Anyway, I want to speak about the word teamwork and how teamwork translates and correlates into business. Now, usually whenever we speak about teamwork, whenever we have teamwork, it's like communication, and communication with anything, I guess, in life is key, but specifically around the team, being able to articulate, being able to speak what is needed, what is best for the team, between players is very important. And that's very, very similar to how a business is run, or at least the team within a business, how they operate, making sure that everything is a well-oiled machine. Now, yes, you can use systems, you can use applications, softwares, technology out there, but most of them than not, with businesses out there that run on, believe it or not, humans, there needs to be that understanding of communication. There needs to be that understanding of building rapport, learning about one another. Another video I can speak about how to best understand a particular person, whether it be someone in your team, your clients, or just someone in general that you learn, catch up with in life. It's always good to understand who they are, but in this instance, again, communication is key, building rapport is key, and obviously with those two in mind, that's what's best for the team, that's what's best long term. And most often than not, we're all going for a championship, we're all going for a first place and being a close-knit unit. So that being said, teamwork is very important. The second one is work ethic, and work ethic in my instance here represents or speaks about the individual itself. So yes, you can have the team around you who are full of phenomenal players or phenomenal athletes, but it's about the individual. It's about the work ethic that you put in behind the scenes, not necessarily with the team, but the extras that you do, which, again, just on a side tangent, things that I didn't do to progress to that next level was do that extra bit of work. Very good example is when I went to Narrabeen Sports High School. We trained, I think, a couple of times a week. I then went over to Westfield Sports High School, which is a very, very renowned high school for all sports. And they trained morning, lunchtime, and night. And that's the work ethic. That's the crux of how you become successful, or how you actually build something, whether it be a team-related goal or even just a business-related goal if you're a one-man band. All comes down to the work ethic. All comes down to how much are you willing to put in the time and effort to achieve those outcomes that you want. So I also look at work ethic as being, in a business sense, how much are you willing to work on yourself? So if we're in the gym, we're more often than not wanting to work on specific functions, mobility, strength and conditioning, sort of ways of the body to then optimize it when it's out in the field. I'd say the same thing here with business as well. Whenever you're in business, there's all these facets that come to you, whether it be there's too many to name, but just to put it into a nutshell, self-development and personal development, how important that is to not only run the business, but more or less hold yourself in good stead around precious times. The more you work on yourself, and again, cliche as it is, the understanding that there is no business problem that you have, it's all personal problems that seep into your business. Once you work on yourself and work on the, say, blind spots that you may not necessarily know, where you need maybe a coach or a mentor to highlight that for you, or if it's just knowing that you can become better, essentially by going through that process or going through that development, that all then seeps into your business. Those habits that you create on yourself, they all move into the business. If you're lazy, say for example at home, if you don't necessarily work on yourself in general, gym, health and fitness, what you eat, that then seeps into how do you run your business. Like, are you a bit lazy on communicating with your clients? Are you lazy with pulling out reporting? Are you lazy with developments? So again, work on yourself first. That will then translate into business. So again, work ethic, which again, all of us have who have played sport, can easily transition into business. Point number 3 is never give up attitude. Now, I love this thing here purely because as sports individuals or being part of a team environment where you're maybe a try down with 30 seconds to go, and we've seen this in all sports, how people have just come from the dead, been able to never give up. The last second, even past the final whistle, yet play is still on. Rugby league is an example. We've been able to score and win and get the win. So the never give up attitude is very easily transitioned over to business. And I feel like with business owners who just stick in there, go grind it out, never give up, get slapped around so many times, get uppercutted, fall to the canvas, get back up again, that then all transitions into resilience that you build. It just showcases that you're not going to wave the white flag. How many cliches can I use today? You're not going to wave the white flag and continuously work, develop, become a better business owner, create a better product, create a better service according to the market, and really taking ownership of that. So that is, again, I'd probably say in alignment with the work ethic. The never give up attitude and work ethic combined together is a game changer. So yeah, again, we've got that all in abundance with our sports. Why not transition that over into business? So there's this other point that I don't have in this list here, which is actually quite frustrating. But the other point that I've left out was the ability to help one another out, the ability to go out there and help your teammate out. Make sure you don't want to let someone down, let the team down, let your coach down, let the people who facilitate the staff, people who break their backs to allow you to get out to wherever you need to go for the sport that you're playing. You don't really want to let those people down who back you. So very similar, the transition over into business. You don't want to necessarily let your team down, but also you don't want to let your clients down. The clients have brought you on board to provide a service or a product to them, and you need to make sure that goes out there the best of your abilities. Now, will that be the best in the world? If you are one of the 1 or 2% within your industry or niche, then awesome stuff, like that's great. But if you're not, give it your best, do your very best, and that's all the client can ask for. And most often than not, that's all they need. The fact that they can see you making an effort, doing the best you can, going probably above and beyond what you're meant to be doing. That's feeling of helping someone out, that feeling of not letting your teammates down, that transitions very, very well into business. Okay, the next point is the love of progression. This for me, I feel, just in life in general, is key. For me, I've always been one to, how can I better myself? I wasn't the best at school, to be fair. I actually was pretty shit at school. I just didn't like it. Other than maths, I actually didn't mind maths. I liked that. But everything else, I just thought was a bore. But as I got older, I realized that there are certain aspects of history, certain aspects of geography, certain aspects of English, believe it or not, that I enjoy doing and enjoy using. But I guess maybe in that traditional sense of sitting in a classroom and trying to learn from whatever's in front of you or from what the teacher's saying, it doesn't work with me. But why I bring that up is because I've always had this thirst for progression. So when I found people who are like-minded like myself and got around them, just there's this energy that comes about where it's like, okay, everyone's on that giddy up phase. They just want to go out and do it. So the love of progression with what we do in sport, how we really want to become the best that we can, that can easily transition into business where we want to become the best service provider in what we do. We want to provide the best product to our clients or to our market. That easily transitions into business. It's just being able to identify what that product or service is that you can facilitate, that you're passionate about, that you can take to market and send. Again, will that be the best product initially? Maybe, maybe not. You could be lucky, could be not. But the fact is you've gone out, thrown your hat into the ring, refined it, taken market feedback, made it a lot better, and gone back out there. So again, very similar to how we do things at training. We fail at a game, rephrase, we don't. Actually, no, we lose. We lose the game for whatever reason. Yeah, we go back to the training board. We go back to the training paddock, refine our systems, refine our gameplay, go back out there again and try and do better. And ultimately, when we do that, yeah, we come away with the win, most often than not. I'm getting away from the point here, but when you transition that into business, it is very, very similar. So again, I think there's a lot of us sports people who are stuck in a rut where we don't necessarily know if we should go into business, where in fact we've got all these foundations we should really be leveraging off and just absolutely dominating in business. Okay, so the next point here is discipline. Discipline is something that we see within obviously all sports. You know, the more disciplined we are to our craft, becoming better, loving the process, loving the journey of it, cliche again, but that discipline allows us to reach the very top, or at least get to the best of our abilities. Again, same thing applies in business. The more disciplined we are around our systems, around our processes, how we interact with our clients, what clients we do bring on, what clients do we not bring on based on how best we can serve them, that all translates over into business quite easily. So again, we have these phenomenal foundations that we just do not blend across into that other game called business. Okay, so the next point that I have here as well is flexibility. Now, most often than not within the game, things don't go to plan. We don't see how that plan was going to work within the first maybe 2-3 minutes within the game, so we've got to change things up. The concept of playing what's in front of you is very, very symbolic to how we do things in business as well. Things in business don't necessarily turn out to be the way that it should. If we're in a client meeting, or if we're in a potential new client meeting and we're having to sell them or having to identify what problems that they have in the markets, and how we can serve them or provide the solutions. And what we'd prepared beforehand isn't exactly what's coming out of the mouth in terms of our solution to that problem, then you've got to listen clearly and you've got to be able to play what's in front, see what's happening, see how things are moving, the dynamics of it isn't necessarily going the way that we've prepared, and then just off the cuff, being able to provide something else instead. Now, yes, there are times where you probably need to go back to the drawing board and being able to refine what you're going to do, but sometimes you just have to be in the heat of the moment. Play what's in front, see where things are going, and then adjust and go. In sport, we do that quite often, we do that quite well. But in business, I don't think we see that, and I think that's something that we should be able to appreciate a lot more as business owners transitioning over into business. And the last but not least points, definitely not the least, I think it's probably as equally as important to the most important ones that I said beforehand, which was never give up, and as well the work ethic. The ability to celebrate. Now again, when you do something good in the world, actually let me rephrase that, when you do something good with a team, the ability to celebrate a win or celebrate success together is something phenomenal. It's something out of this world. And I sort of look back on some of the team celebrations that we had when we won the grand final. It was probably the best time. Mad Monday, as people may understand with rugby league, rugby union, is for some of us, for me, I can't back up. So when I was playing and then I had to, celebrate with the boys, I had the best maybe 6, 7, 8 hours, but I can't back up like with the rest of the people out there who can do 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours after the fact. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a lightweight, so actually completely off the point. The point is making sure that you celebrate your wins, celebrate it with the ones that you love, and if we celebrate with our team, we can obviously do the same thing and transition that over into business as well, whether it be that team environments with your team. If you're an individual solo entrepreneur, then you can do that with your family. The successes that you have, you bring other people around with you up. So I feel that is, that would probably be the most important point out of all of them. Yes, there's other foundational, habitual points that I've raised within this video, but celebrating them is what is the best feeling. It's knowing that you've done well within the team. It's knowing that you've done well for your clients. It's knowing that your teammates or people that's a part of your crew celebrating a lot of the hard work that they've done as well. So again, very simple and very easy transition between the two. I feel like just we don't necessarily do that as well. So those are my key points. I hope you guys all get some sort of understanding, or maybe even some confidence behind you on how being a sports individual, being a sports representative, people who've actually made it to the tier top in their field is, they probably aren't giving themselves enough credit to go out into the game of business and really going out there and dominating it. Most often than not, they just don't know what game to play, what market that they want to service, what product that they can take to market and help other people out. And I mean, if the product or the service is any good, there's going to be a value exchange at one point, and most often than not, it's going to be attention, it's going to be time and money. So yeah, anyway, I hope this sort of provides that context for you sports people out there, just like myself. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. If you did like this video, hit the thumbs up. And if you guys want some more videos very similar to that, let me know, and also subscribe. I don't want to say subscribe, I'll cut it out. Anyway, that's enough for me. Hope you guys are all well. Stay safe, keep well, and I'll speak to you all very soon.